The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah, go Cowboys!
Let's go, baby.
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com
We were on a break.
with Nick Eatman, David Hellman, Ambar Garcia, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Friday, December 10th, 2021, season 17, episode number 76. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. I'm so excited. It's Friday. It's Friday afternoon. You know, I'm actually starting to think maybe we ought to be an afternoon show anyway, because my mood gets better as the day goes on.
I don't know what's going on with this guy.
No,
out
it's
here.
just
the
a
other
good
time
afternoon.
we had an afternoon show, you're like, we walked out and you're like, man, I hate this
Was it a
afternoon
Friday?
show. It wasn't a Friday.
See,
but
that's the
mean,
difference.
he's got
It's a
that.
Friday.
I don't want to agree.
It's a
I don't want to
Friday.
agree with Derek right now. But Friday at late morning, early afternoon before the weekend, especially during football
It's the
season,
golden time of the day.
I wish you could bottle that up
Yeah,
and sell
so
it.
good.
But
I love that time.
You're on one.
Yeah,
Like
this is going to be. This is
you're
going to
not-
be a great
I'm just
show.
in a
you're
good
not
mood.
playing.
Terrible show.
I'm
You're
in a
not
good
playing
mood.
on Sunday. You're
No,
not in the game.
But I'm in a good mood.
Okay,
though. I'm in
hey.
a good mood. And
Don't
hopefully-
ruin it. I mean, no. We're not going to ruin it.
Okay, good.
I'm
good.
saying don't change it.
So
Stay
we
in
got
a
a
great
good
mood.
we got a good hour. We got a good hour here. We're going to give everybody a little perspective. There's a lot of stuff floating around this game. Actually, I'm actually enjoying all of this, and we're talking about. Before we get to that, though, real quick, Nick, you want to give me a 76?
76. I mean, Flozell Adams.
That's what I'm- yeah, you
Flozell.
gotta go
I'm
for
sorry.
it.
I had a lot of names just flash seriously in my head that aren't really good players, but that one. I don't know. Is there a guy
gotta be
named
Flo.
Alan Weingrad? Seriously, that name just he may not be 76. Yeah,
Alan Weingrad?
I don't think he's 76.
most of the names he throws in these number
What about
series, I
Flozell?
don't
Have you
know.
heard
What
Flozell
about
Adams?
Flozell Adams?
That was probably a little bit before you, right? What year did Flo finish?
Flozell was way before AG. He was before me.
He was before you?
I never was here with Flozell.
Really?
What name did you say, Nick?
Weingrad? Alan?
Oh my God!
Did he play?
Alan Weingrad, 91 to 92.
Is he 76?
91 to 92.
76.
Wow,
How about
Nick.
that.
pretty
Larry
good.
Bethea, well, that's not a great story, but he was a first round pick. Didn't turn out well for him. But
impressive.
Flozell Adams, Flozell was one of my favorite people.
Yeah. I actually like Flozell a lot, yeah.
and he'd never talked to the media, and for some reason
We talk to anybody there.
Right, but we had a girl working for us,
Yeah.
and she was a web developer, Erin Johnson, and they became friends. And so for some reason, he was like, "I'll talk to you. I ain't talking to any of these other MFers," is what
Yeah.
he would say. So every
Talk about
year,
the media. Yeah.
media. So every year, one time a year, I would get to talk to him, and it wasn't great or anything like that because Flozell, he didn't really have the greatest personality in the world, but it was pretty good. He's a good player. I thought he was a really
Very
good
good player, very underrated player. I love the story, and you've told it before, maybe on the air,
Parcells.
about Parcells. Yeah.
Yeah, he was like fourth year, fifth year, and this isn't working out. He's going to be free agent. He's out of here. Like, he's not very good. And then Parcells shows up, and, he's going to clean house. And it's like, Bill, what's the first thing you're going to do? It's like, well, we're going to have to re-sign Flozell Adams. Are you kidding me? Look at this guy. Left tackle. He's a franchise tackle. And we were like,
Like the game has passed Parcells
okay,
by.
Bill. I don't know. And then he just made 5 Pro Bowls.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
He knew what he was doing.
Pretty good coach, I
He
hear.
knew what he was
He
doing.
was a good coach.
Pretty good
Yeah.
coach.
And a good player. Absolutely good player that people, and he was deaf in his right ear. Is that right? Or left ear? Or that was,
I don't know.
That was
I don't
the
remember
story.
the ear, but
it was one of them.
40% hearing
Yeah.
loss in one ear.
And so-
he'd get you a false start a game.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. He'd
So
get
that
you
was a
false
part of
start.
that. But he was a really good player, and he kept the
would.
quarterback clean.
I know.
Just like D. Ware. We'll give you offsides a game, but you take it.
Absolutely. All right, that's a good 76. Let's now jump into the drama. Like, I love the drama. There's a lot of drama going on in this game, the
So
lead up
much
to
drama
this
in the
game.
LBC.
Kind of hard being Snoop D.
God.
Gee. All right, so Mike McCarthy, a few days ago, he says to the media, "We're going to win this game. I'm confident in that. What am I supposed to say? I fully expect to win every game I ever competed in." Dak was asked about the comment. Dak says,
Say his quote.
Yeah, he said something. You heard the beep, and then yeah. So basically, you get the point. And he says, "I don't think he said anything different than everybody in our building thought. He just voiced it. So now we've got to make sure we're accountable for our words. And then last night it goes up a level because Ron Rivera is asked about it on his on the show that they do for, I guess, Washington Football Team website. I don't even know what they call WashingtonFootballTeam.com.
Whatever. Talking football team.
Whatever it is. But they were on that show, and he's asked about it. And his response was, you do that for a couple of reasons. One, you want to get in our head. He's talking about the Washington Football Team. Secondly, he's trying to convince his team. He's now made it about him. I think it's a big mistake. Question for you guys is, was it a mistake for Mike McCarthy to say what he said about this upcoming game?
Hell no. It's awesome.
No.
It's fun. We're sitting here juiced up talking about the rivalry. This is the first time I've felt like Dallas-Washington was a rivalry since I started working here.
Yep.
It's Sleepy Town, USA.
Yeah.
It's boring, dead rivalry, garbage franchise that hasn't done anything in a decade. More than a decade. What am I even talking about? Like, it's this, for all of the old heads that talk about how great this used to be, I've never seen it ever once in my life. So, like, the fact that there's some juice to it, I love it. I think it's fun as hell.
Yeah, I mean, who cares? Of course he's going to say that. I mean, seriously, of course that guy's going to say that because Ron Rivera, I mean, great coach, great story, all that. And the next interesting thing he says will be the first. I mean, seriously, what is he look at him on the sideline. Look at him. I mean, that's what he does. Outstanding coach, great player when he was during his time. All that stuff. I'm not talking bad about him, but that's not his style. So of course he's not going to say that. But I can promise you this: McCarthy doesn't say it to like say, God, I don't know if our guys are ready for this game. Like I gotta convince them. I don't think it's not like that. This isn't like Jimmy Johnson calling in saying he'll put it in 3-inch headlines or whatever. But
you think he went into that press conference wanting to do that? Maybe not in the way that he did it, but wanting to do that? Or do you think this was just, I'm answering the question and it came out and then he's like, well, I'm not walking away from it?
I think, first of all, maybe I'm just boring right now, but I don't see any of this as a big deal. I don't get why it's becoming such a big deal, but whatever.
It's just fun to talk about. That's all
I guess,
it is.
but the way I see it is a coach that wasn't at a game the week before, wasn't there, got to see from the outside perspective, is pumped to get back in. He goes in there, he's like, just like the energy you're in today. That's similar to that. So that's that kind of the energy that he had where it leads you to say things like that, like, yeah, we're going to win this game and all that. So I just think it's more him being hyped up of being back and back in it with his team rather than him being any different than what he normally is behind cameras.
I said to Dave afterwards or Rob, one of y'all, I just said, well, if it's a mistake, if he thinks that what he said is a mistake, that means he thinks that they're going to lose. He thinks the Cowboys are going to lose and he's going to be wrong. So basically, he's also making a prediction, right? No?
Wait, I don't know if I'm following that because
Rivera.
Is Rivera making his
I
own
see
prediction because he's saying, I think it's a mistake to do that? Or is he saying just in general that's not what you say?
I took from it what he was saying was, as a coach, doing that hurts you more than it helps you.
Why?
Well, he said that he thinks it takes the focus off your players and puts it on you.
Good.
Exactly. I was thinking that might be a strategy that a coach would use if he felt like he needed to do that. Now, I think you have to do that when your team can't handle the pressure of that. I don't think this is a team that shirks away from pressure.
There's not often in life that a cliche actually works like literally, and this is the one that I say all the time, and it literally works this time. You coach your team, I'll coach my team.
Which is what McCarthy said.
Which is exactly what it is.
Today.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like we say that all the time about stay in your own lane and all that. You coach your football team, do exactly what you want to do, and we'll do it this way. And then we'll just play on Sunday and see what happens.
Yeah. I do think there was strategy here though for Mike because
you think it was something that was pre-planned.
Yes, or he just got real carried away because I pulled up the transcript just to make sure I'm not crazy, and I saw some people on social giving we in the media crap like we baited Mike into this.
No, as a matter of fact,
we didn't.
They gave him an option to be able to kind of tamp it back a little bit.
The question was just about. It seems like you have a different problem on offense every time. Like sometimes it's your quarterback, sometimes it's your receiver, sometimes it's your line. Like it wasn't even about Washington.
Yeah.
It was just about your offense has been kind of herky-jerky. Why do you think that is? And the answer's like 200 words long, and he gets down to the bottom of it, and he's like, we're going to go win the game. And like, So I just feel like he came in with the idea that he wanted to say something like that. Either that or he just kind of blacked out
himself
and
into a corner.
forgot that he was on a microphone.
Let's not forget how he ended that conversation when he did kind of drop a cuss word or two.
He does that.
So to say that maybe he got carried away. I don't think he went in thinking he was going to do that.
It was a mood. Like he was in a mood. I mean,
that being said, I mean, get the bleep button ready here. You never know what Derek might say.
But the funny thing, and then the Dallas media tried to basically give him some off ramps. They were like, "Are you sure? Bulletin, like that sounds like bulletin board material. Is that how you really feel?" And I love that was my favorite part because he was like, "What do you want me to say? I expect to win every game I play." Which I kind of chuckle at these storylines because like working in this building, talking to people off the record. That's how they feel about every game they play. Like they literally.
It's shocking if somebody in this building tells you, "I don't know about this game,"
and
that just doesn't happen.
And like in like the most disrespectful terms, like, they're like, "We're gonna smash these B words," and, like every week, even when they lose, you know.
And then they lose, it's like
they're like, "Oh,
maybe next week though."
Yeah, exactly. So he just was.
I was thinking about GB. Like he was notorious for that.
Exactly.
Gary
what I was
Brown used to be a
about.
running backs coach. Like he was notorious for that. He would be like, "Yeah, we're getting them."
No, he'd also be notorious to be like, "Who'd y'all pick in your gut feeling? Did y'all pick against us? Oh, okay.
Wait, watch this.
Yeah,
yeah. And no matter what the outcome was, that was his feeling every week.
Oh, he's that one day in Seattle, and he was like,
They never.
all four of y'all picked against us. We're like, yeah.
They never stop by to say hi when we're right. They never do that.
No, that never. And we were that day.
Anyway, the point I appreciate being willing to just say what you already think and not thinking it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
Yeah,
like I said,
let's go. Let's have fun.
I think about this a lot. Like the rivalries in the NFL are very real for the fans, especially. I do this every year. Shout out my DMV Cowboy fans. Like this is real for y'all.
A lot of them.
A boatload
It's a ton
of
of them, yeah.
And this matters because this is going to dictate all of your conversations for like the next year.
Yep.
But inside the building, I feel like NFL rivalries are kind of a diminishing thing, you know, just in terms of like, it's just not the same. Like guys move around teams so much. Like you go from one team to the next in a couple years. You train with all these guys in the off season. You went to school with a lot of these guys.
Keep going. You sit after the game, after this overtime loss and back and forth where there was 7 fights, and then all of a sudden these guys are laying down or they're sitting down and they've got their jerseys and they're signing it and they've replayed, and they come running off the field. And, you want to get a good like photo of the guys. I guarantee it's happened where you're like getting him coming off the field and he's like, why has he got a green Eagles jersey on? Like this is messing up my shot. And it's like
I really feel, and I'm not necessarily complaining. But I just think this is the way it is. Like back in the day when free agency wasn't a thing, you play for the Cowboys until you can't play anymore, and you only see the guys from Washington the 2 times a year you play.
It's Michael Irvin.
Yeah.
Who is now still, even on the air, like he is a hardcore Cowboys fan.
It's us versus them, meaning this team versus the other team. In today's NFL, the us is all of the players, and the them is the whole outside world. Like everybody that doesn't understand our lives, it's us versus them. So I think it diminishes these rivalries a little bit. But when you get some juice in the news cycle going like this, where Ron Rivera is talking to his guys about like they don't respect us, they think we're a bunch of bums, and Dak is like, hell yeah, we are going to win this game. Let's go, Mike. I love
that'll
this.
Take it up, yeah.
Yeah, and so this is good for the sport in my opinion.
Yeah,
like people actually having the guts to put it out there that like we want to and we're going to win this game. It just makes it more fun for everybody.
Yeah, you can't have a team full of alpha types that hear something like that and it doesn't get them juiced a little bit. Like it's gotta like it gets you a little bit like, oh really? It's like that. So yeah, it doesn't mean it necessarily changes your ability to catch the ball or to be able to, run back a kickoff or whatever it is. It doesn't change your abilities, but it does give you a little bit more impetus where I really want this to happen a certain way.
Yeah.
This is the most excited I've ever been for a Dallas-Washington game.
Me
and
too.
This is probably This would be the 17th one that I've watched, I think.
Yeah.
So
it's the earliest they could win the division. You know what I mean? Like not technically.
they can't win it this weekend, can they?
Not
They actually
technically.
can't. They can possibly win it next week. A lot of things have to happen, but they could win it possibly next week. Definitely by the time they face Washington in 2 weeks again, they have an opportunity. If they win these next 3, they have an opportunity to clinch the division.
I mean, you win this game.
you're in a
It's
good
over.
spot.
It's over as far as I'm concerned.
Like I said earlier this week, if you can't go beat the Giants, then you don't need to be in the playoffs.
Right. I mean, but you act like that's not going to be a tougher game. It will be.
It won't be as tough as this game, I don't think.
No, none of the games are going to be as tough as this game. That's what
None of them that are left?
I'm sticking to that. Remember I said that? Yeah, I do think that.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to win.
Yeah.
But I think it's going
You
to
don't
be
have
a
to give your
tough
pick
game.
right now. It's in the first segment.
Hey, if McCarthy's going to give his on Wednesday, then I can give mine.
You're right. He did give his pick. I guess he wanted to join in making picks.
As soon as I heard that, one of the main things that popped into my head was like, okay, hopefully it's not the kind of confidence that they were having to the point where they came out. Was it for that Denver game?
Mm-hmm.
Was it that one where they after the game you start hearing, okay, well, maybe they were feeling too confident back there, and that's kind of why they thought, oh, they got this game in the bag and they were going to go out there without the right amount of preparation or whatever, or too worried about them losing. So it just took me back to that. I'm not saying this is what's going to happen this
Worrying
weekend.
me now, Amber.
No.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm going to.
I'm pretty sure it's very different from that time, but
Killing my buzz over here. What are we doing?
No, don't do that because like that's a valid point, but I don't think that's going to happen because I think what got the whole team that way was how they had been playing. I mean, they were playing like crap early on against the Giants, Panthers, Patriots, and still winning, still figuring out a way to win. So we'll sleepwalk through Denver and we'll block a punt here and we'll make a play and we're going to go win. And it just didn't happen. That was a reality check there. And then it kind of snowballed for some other reasons. But I don't know if one guy's comments are going to get them excited. I think it's the fact that they haven't been playing as well. We know that. And now Washington, I mean, they won 4 in a row. So I think now for the first time all season, I think the pressure is now on Washington. Because they hadn't been playing it for anything before. I mean, they were just 2-6. I mean, just go out there and let's see. But now they're 6-6. Now you're in the playoffs. Now you have a chance to go win this game. This really matters because if you don't win, they're pretty much out, I think. I mean, they're going to have to be absolutely perfect down the stretch.
It's a really great point.
I think the pressure is on Washington now than it's ever been.
It's a playoff game for them.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Toiling away in noon games. I think they beat Seattle on Monday Night Football or Sunday Night Football, whatever. But like, playing these noon games, nobody's really paying attention to you.
And the quality of opponents, other than Tampa Bay, wasn't great, right? I don't remember everybody they played.
They beat the Raiders. I mean, they're beating teams the Cowboys haven't.
True.
So, I mean, you can't just say that. But they're just kind of playing.
They've beat some crap teams.
They have.
They did beat the Raiders.
By the way, the Raiders aren't great, but the Raiders beat the Cowboys. So do you then say, well,
did you see my screenshot from the other day?
Yeah.
The most unbelievable thing. Just go look at the Raiders last 5 games, just getting smashed by everybody.
I did see that. And you're like, this is the most Cowboy thing ever? Yeah, I saw that.
Can't score 20 against the Giants. Can't score 20 against Washington. They get blown out by Kansas City like a college team would, and then they put up 40 on the Cowboys at home.
I just don't see how Washington's going to score. I just don't.
I don't either until it happens, right? I mean, that's the tough part. Yeah, you just don't know.
I'll tell you how they'll score. They'll run the ball well on first down. They'll pick up third downs, and that guy will run around and make a few plays here and there, and they'll drive, and then they'll score for 16 points and just shut down the Cowboys. That's how they'll win. But I think if the Cowboys can get to 20 points, I don't think they'll.
Well, I tell you how I see it as a possibility. If Dallas doesn't win this game, to me, it'll be because they got enough pressure on Dak to where they could create turnovers, whether that be sack fumbles, whether that be forcing him into bad throws. That's how they beat them, because we know right now, if you look at the matchups, the biggest matchup that favors, in my opinion, that favors Washington is their defensive tackles against the Cowboys' interior offensive linemen, not counting Zach Martin. And so if you look at it from that standpoint, if they can create that kind of pressure that creates a problem for Dallas, then I think that's how they could win a game like this. Creating those turnovers, creating that short field, not only stopping Dallas from scoring, but also creating scoring opportunities for their offense without having to drive the full distance.
I did a couple shows this week with on hanging with Nate Newton and Shannon. And Nate, if he knows a thing or two about offensive line and guard, he said I'd trap the hell out of them. I'd get them up the field and trap them, run it right back on them. But that's something that David said last week, and I thought, man. That's kind of scary. If you were to ask the 2 toughest players on Washington's defense, the 2 players you're worried about the most are probably.
You talking about me?
Yes. Yeah.
You just called me David. That's weird.
I say David.
You did.
What's wrong with that? What's your name?
Nobody calls me that.
Sorry.
I call you that every once in a while.
Sorry. I thought you might have been talking about David Moore. I was so confused. Sorry.
David?
Yeah. Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
No, their two toughest players on defense are probably Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne.
Yeah.
I think so.
The two scariest players on their defense. Well, who's the two weak links on the Cowboys offense?
Left guard and center.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we know where they're going to kind of shift over and play, and that's why I don't think I'd even mess with it. I think this would be a game plan where I'm going sideline to sideline, make them run, make those big guys run all over the place.
All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Do you think bulletin board material is a thing, and do you think it actually affects outcomes of games at times? We'll talk about that when we come right back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching Grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with...
And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar, and a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
Back to the break.
Thanks, Christopher. Celebrate Christmas at the Star with Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant. The 20-minute show electrifies the Star in Frisco with a powerful mix of game day excitement and Christmas cheer every Friday and Saturday at 6 p.m. through December 18th. Admission and parking are free. For more information, visit thestardistrict.com.
Is Gravedigger going to be at this thing?
Sunday at Texas Stadium. It's going to be Gravedigger versus, I don't know.
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot 3.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear the music. And I just go to what
that's fair.
I was like, "Where's my Christmas music?"
I don't think I actually ever have been
Chris
to
put the
Monster
sandwich
Truck.
down.
It's actually pretty entertaining.
I hear it's
took
fun.
my kids, and I've taken them a few times. It's actually
I
pretty
hear it's
entertaining.
fun. I mean, what's not fun about watching stuff get smashed?
Basically, yeah. You just watch and cheering on trucks like smashing into other trucks like it's and jumping really high, and it's fun.
I'm in favor.
You should try it. You should try it. Take your kids. All right. Second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. As you guys can see, we're completely off the rails today. This is what happens when they move us to Friday afternoon versus Friday morning. And,
as in you moved it to Friday.
Did I move it?
Yeah,
me and Amber had to move it. Yeah.
You make all of the decisions for this department.
I don't make all of them.
Most of them.
No, I make a few. This one I made because Amber had a meeting and she couldn't do the show without Amber.
You really want to say it? That's not how it went down. You were like, I can't be on the show Friday because I have a meeting, and Amber's going to have to host because I have a meeting with Mexico. And I was like, is she not going to be on there too? And you're like, oh, yes. Sorry. Oh, wait, yeah.
So then it was like, are y'all going to host it?
Right.
And it was like, I think we need to move the show.
No.
Like, we need to move this. So
we're not hostables.
I think it's funny when you guys come to me. It's like, do you think we can move the show? I'm like, well, you're the boss. You can move anything you want.
You can move. Yeah.
I think Nick and I doing a two-man show just might be the grumpiest hour of anybody's life. Just nobody else's energy to really pick us up. We're just like,
true.
Yeah. Like, what do you want me to say?
True. The first 5 minutes of every show is about waking y'all up. Like it's like get the energy going. Let's go. And then you guys are in. You're good.
You do because you test my brain with the with the
it gets
numbers.
you wake you up.
Oh, just for the people that are kind of upset by this, and there's maybe like 3. Yes, we forgot 73. We didn't do 73, and Larry Allen was
there's
the
an
greatest
answer,
player.
an easy answer. Yeah.
Larry Allen.
Yeah.
Joe Looney was nice. Mackenzie Bernardo, good dudes. Larry Allen.
Yeah, there's only one answer.
The best. Probably the greatest player to ever play his position in Cowboys
I was about to
history.
say, is he not the
I think he's the greatest
player in the history of the Cowboys?
I'm gonna let y'all do that.
I
I'm
think
not, I don't wanna weigh
think
in on
he
that.
is the greatest player to ever play for the Cowboys at his position, other than maybe Deion Sanders. But Deion wasn't a all the way Cowboy player. But this Larry Allen was Dallas Cowboys.
I'll put it to you like this: I don't know that there was another player in the history of the Cowboys that I'm aware of that was more dominant in his role than he was.
Yeah.
Like he was dominating. You talk to other players around the
Larry.
league at the time, they didn't want to go up against Larry Allen. Like it was just he was a tough matchup for other teams.
I mean, they're amazing players, but like there's always going to be. There are obviously other quarterbacks that have come along, other than Roger Staubach, for all of his rightful place in the lore of the league.
Yeah.
Emmett will always have Barry. I mean, that debate will go on forever. But Larry Allen, I think almost everyone agrees, is like one of the 2 or 3 best guards to ever play.
Yes, in the history of the league.
I know technology and people are bigger and stronger and all that. I don't see a lot of 700-pound bench pressers
He
running
could play
around.
today and be just as dominant as he was back in the 90s.
Yeah.
It makes me so
good interview
uncomfortable.
too.
No, liar.
He had a good speech. He had a good speech in Hall of Fame.
His speech was incredible.
Which I did not expect to happen.
His speech was
he had a
incredible.
really good speech.
Oh yeah, he talked about drinking 40s.
Yeah, but he's talking about love.
Yeah,
40s and love.
He said his wife got him a steak and a 40. He's like, he knew.
It was a chicken, I believe.
Oh, chicken
like
and-
a whole chicken.
Whole chicken and a 40.
I got caught up on the 40. I don't even remember what the meat was, but I was like, that's love right there.
Old E.
Yeah.
It makes me so uncomfortable.
What's the official 40 of the Cowboys?
Miller.
They make 40s?
Oh no, they got a 36 ounce. I don't know about
40s malt liquor.
I know,
though.
but I'm just saying, like they don't have a 40. Like that's the closest you're gonna get.
I think Old English should be the official 40.
Go
of the
talk
Cowboys.
to Sudal about that. See if you can get that.
What? We don't have it all. Let's do it. Done.
Yes, that's how it works here.
That's how it works.
That's how it works here.
I gotta go. I gotta go.
That's officially most of the meetings that we're in around here. Okay, so let's get back to this talk real quick. And I know you guys think we may have already talked about this, but I do think there's a slight nuance to this because I do think for whatever we think of what Mike McCarthy had to say this week and what Ron Rivera has to say this week, I do think that there is a possibility. And the question for you guys is how much does Bulletin Board really affect players and affect their abilities, not necessarily their ability to play the game, but just the mental part of the game when they see something where someone feels like they're disrespecting them.
I think it's huge, and the only evidence that I ever need is Nick Saban and what he has done at Alabama, like the unquestioned, maybe the greatest run in sports history, or one like right up there with the Patriots. Pick
or
one,
Duke or whatever.
Whatever. No, I mean,
I'm sorry, UCLA. UCLA is a better
okay.
example.
70s, 60s,
Yeah,
UCLA.
yeah.
Sure. Either way, they just win and win and win, and it's just a foregone conclusion. And Nick Saban still tries to use disrespect as an edge. He did it. He did it last weekend. He's sitting at the podium after they crushed the number 1 team in the country, and he's like, "Yeah, everything y'all were saying, like that. Sometimes the rat poison's yummy. Like the way you were just disrespecting us. Nobody gave us a chance. I just want to be like Nick. Who do you think doesn't give you a chance to win anything? You're so full of crap."
If you play the NFL, there'd be some people being like,
every year somebody's like, "Oh, this year's Browns can't beat the Tide," which is insane. Yeah. But the point is, that's how good they are, and he still uses that psychology to give his team an edge, and it clearly does something. Yeah. Especially, we were talking about it off the air in your prep. Like you're not thinking about it by the time you get to the stadium, but like to hear that people don't aren't taking you seriously or don't respect you, all of these guys are just constantly looking for an edge. I remember it was pretty early in Dak's career, but I just remember it was after something like this, and Dak was done talking publicly, but he was just like, keep doubting me. I need it, y'all. I need it. Keep doubting me. They love that stuff. Mm-hmm. They love to be able to throw it back. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it matters.
Yeah, I mean, individually, again, we're talking about Bill Parcells, but he was the master at it. He would get a player and put a gas tank in his locker and said, looks like you're out of gas. That's what they're saying. Or get a plane ticket or something like that. And he did one time to his player a plane ticket to L.A., because they had a left tackle that was better. He wanted to fly Jimbo Elliott to L.A. so they could get their tackle and trade him for this game.
Hilarious.
Yeah, just little things like that, which I don't know if you can go that far sometimes now. But, I mean, yeah, individually I think you can kind of, nudge players and – yeah, I think it just creates just even more excitement and all that. And then when you get to the game, you just know how big it is. No one's doing this when it's the 4-7, whoever. Yeah. Jets versus I don't even know who's who, but that's not happening around the league. But everyone knows how important this game is. 1 and 3 is a big difference. Yeah. And when the games, if you got a 3-game lead, 1-game lead, big difference.
Look, I'm not going to say I'm against the comment that he made or any of that. I like it, keep doing it and everything. But I think that it fuels the Washington team a lot more than the Cowboys. And because what Nick mentioned earlier, how much more there's a stake for them currently. So, not saying I'm against it, but I think that maybe why would you throw something like an extra little spark or fuel into a team that you yourself are needing and looking to beat this weekend? So,
but I'll say this to that. So, why do you think he really said it? Why do you think he said it, though?
I personally, the way I look at it, I think it's a motivational tactic for his team as well.
Okay,
and the reason why I say that is because I think that just like it can
deeper than that. Why do you really think he believes it?
Yes.
Okay, why do you think he believes it?
Because he thinks he's better. I think he thinks his team is better.
I think that's it. That's a big part of it. So you're like, yeah, maybe that fuels them more. But deep down, he thinks this football team, when healthy, when prepared, when they actually get to have full practices and full coaching staff and open weight room and all these guys, they're going to go up there and they're better than this team. They're just better. If he didn't believe it, he wouldn't say it. And so you can say what you want. You can get pissed and all that. When Sunday at noon comes around, we're going to beat you because we're better. That's what he thinks. If he didn't think they were better, if that was close, he maybe wouldn't say it. But he thinks they're just that much better than them, and I don't know if I disagree.
I love it. The reason why is because it's fun. That's the answer for me. It sounded like that was amazing. Nick sounded like Macho Man right there. Like these alligator boots. Like that's what it's all about. Like The Rock. He's like when The Rock sees you at Madison Square Garden at 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, he's gonna lay the smacketh down on your candy ass. Like that's.
Hey, I didn't know you had that in you.
Oh, yes,
it's awesome. It's just I don't know.
WrestleMania coming to a theater. I mean, to a stadium near you soon.
I just think it's
my guy.
I just think
no
it's
longer
fun.
with this.
I know, right? You always go the morbid route, though.
When it comes to wrestling, I mean,
no. Randy was good on the mic, though.
He was.
I can't do that impression.
I can't either. It hurts my throat. But yeah, he was the best.
Yeah.
Well, Ric Flair was pretty dang good too.
He was. All right, let's talk a little bit about football. Like we've talked about all the stuff around football.
Dave, I've never heard you say that.
I was big into wrestling at one point in my life.
I think we all were.
Who was not? Yeah. Like that's the thing. Wrestling was a rite of passage for young men in America. Like
even me. Yes.
Oh, well, everybody
the bed
did.
was the wrestling arena. You would jump on the bed, throw each other on the bed.
Battle Royal. Yeah. All right, favorite wrestler.
Oh my God.
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, JYD probably.
Somebody sitting at work.
They love it. No, they love. We've done it. We started predictions early in this show. That's how big it is. We can go favorite wrestler.
Junkyard Dog was
Junkyard
probably
Dog.
my favorite of all time.
Yeah, well, he had that real chain. That was mean.
Another one bites the dust.
There we go.
That was my thing. Yeah, I was all in.
What about you?
I refuse to pick between The Rock and Stone Cold.
You don't have to.
They're 1A and 1B.
We just showed our ages right there.
Yeah, duh. I mean,
I know, but I'm just saying, like, that was just a real stark reminder for me of just how old I am and how young you are.
I mean, you might have heard my favorite. They haven't probably. But one of my favorites, I mean, I had the bandanas and stuff. I like the Rock and Roll Express.
I remember the Rock and Roll Express.
Remember them?
What was their
Not
manager
really, to be
name?
honest. They didn't have a manager.
Wait, are we talking about?
You talking about the Midnight Express with Jim Cornette?
Yes, that's what I thought
They
you were
were
talking about.
going up against the Rock and Roll Express.
Then
I like the Rock and Roll Express.
I don't know if I remember the Rock and Roll Express then.
Oh, well,
Midnight
sorry.
Express.
I liked all the Von Erichs.
I did too.
Kevin Von Erich, I think, still follows me on Twitter. Like, that is amazing. I don't mean to sound like Broadus, but like
You're kidding.
No, he does.
Is he a Cowboy fan?
I think so. He's a Dallas guy. Kevin Von Erich, last one standing. I like the
You ever
Von
reached out
Erichs.
to him? DM him?
No.
Slide in his DMs?
My heart goes out.
Give it
Somebody
a claw.
Somebody just wants to know if Washington's going to run like cover 3 or what they're going to do.
Well, we still got a whole segment left.
Can't
so-
help you
All
today.
right.
Go ahead, Amber. What your favorite?
Oh no! You think I remember those names? I was so young when I started, and then I stopped later. But I have 2 brothers and all boy cousins, so we would have a blast just trying to copy what we saw on the TV and like tag teaming and all that.
So that's probably 2005
That sounds right.
or so.
Yeah, around
so I mean,
2000s.
who's the Rock?
Oh, the Rock was gone by then.
I wasn't watching by then.
The Rock was already gone.
The Rock's been out of wrestling for a long time.
Like Shawn Michaels.
He was making
I'm trying to
Gridiron
think. I'm
Gang
trying to
by
think who the best.
If I
Triple H and
I remember him, but
Yeah.
if I saw pictures, I would remember. I can't remember names.
well, who's the one?
Especially
who's
everything
the
was
one
in-
now?
Huh?
Who's the one now that we're talking?
Roman Reigns.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We already talked about this. I'm waiting for Derek to make the call.
Hey,
Bring him over.
Trust me, we got some stuff in the works. Just
Sting.
tuned.
Sting was up there for me too, and so we got to meet him. That was
So you
pretty
got a chance to meet him. You were
yeah.
pretty
Sting.
stoked by that.
I liked Sting. Yeah. I liked a lot of them back then.
You know what's funny? It's like, real quick, I've met a few guys like even on the like lucha libre side of things.
Oh, yeah.
And the bad guys that are all like tough and rough, and you meet them outside of TV and what they're doing in their performances, and they're like the nicest guys ever. It's just it's so
an act,
funny.
yeah.
It's a whole act, but it's just you feel like intimidated and scared to, and they're like, with the biggest smile ever. I'm like, oh, it's just it's interesting and fun and cool.
They're really good at what they do as far as
Yeah.
selling their characters. Really, really good. All right, we're going to take our final break. When we come back, I do want to talk a little bit of football with you guys. We got to catch up on some injuries. There are a couple guys that showed up on the injury report. One of them for the first time. I want to talk about how much Michael Parsons is hurt and what that means for this Sunday. We'll talk about that when we come right back. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call. And teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with... And I'm Jay Novacek, and we're both with...
United Ag and Turf, the official tractor provider of the Dallas Cowboys.
So, if you need a tractor to bale some hay, a mower to cut some grass, or a gator to get some chores done...
Get a John Deere at United Ag and Turf.
And then, let's get to work.
Hey, Jay, that's my line.
Well, not today.
Get to work with a John Deere tractor package that's just right for you and your budget. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man's Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
Back to the break.
Dak Prescott is our nominee for the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year Award, presented by Nationwide, recognizing NFL players for outstanding community services, activities off the field, and excellence on the field. Vote for Dak. Tweet hashtag WPMOY challenge followed by Prescott through January 17th. Vote Dak if you can figure all that out.
Sure you don't want to start back doing these reads, Dave?
No, he's got it. He's great.
Nick's like, you hurt my feelings.
He's great.
I have my phone.
Welcome back. Final segment of the break live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We got 5 or 10 minutes left on this show, so let's make it a really, really good final segment for the week. All right? You got that?
Have we not already?
I don't know. We got way off into Junkyard Dog.
You're off the rails right now. Just go.
You're right.
Let's
go.
Just about to speak about Micah Parsons.
I don't know. I don't know how that happens.
That is
Literally,
terrible.
I came into it with
That
the
is
first thing
terrible.
on my agenda, and somehow y'all got me wrecked into some other stuff that I was not.
The
prepared
answer
for.
to that is because he's fine and he's going to play.
Good, thank
if he wasn't fine, it would be like episode 4.
fine.
Like Micah.
Don't leave us, Micah.
Yeah. You would like, Nick, give me a number. I was like, I don't care.
I'll tell you this, my mood would have been a lot different
Probably.
than what it was coming into this show for sure. All right, so he's fine. We're saying he's fine. Just a little blip. They sit him down for a minute practice, and he's ready to go Sunday.
He's supposed to practice today and tomorrow. They don't even think they didn't get him an MRI or anything like that. It's something that was bothering him, and they decided to be cool about it.
All right. Tony Pollard, where do we sit with him?
Game time?
Well, you got shocked that he said in his press conference he had a torn plantar fascia. Is that right? Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah. That was the first I'd heard that it was that. Now, obviously, and we've heard this before, tearing it sometimes is a better thing than just, injuring it. But that all being said, like that sounds like it's way more serious than just game time decision for this week.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend to be a doctor, but the thing that has been thrown around here all week is that it's one of those weird things where tearing it is actually better. Like it allows you to like play on it more than if you had just like sprained it or what. I don't know why that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not a medical professional, but that's what I have been told by people.
Yeah.
It was interesting that he said, I've heard that, tearing it's better. And, when you tear it, it allows you to play on it with not as much pain. I'm waiting to get there.
Yeah.
And that sounded to me like, I don't think that's true right now because I'm in pain. And I guess that may be part of the game time decision is maybe right now physically he doesn't feel like maybe he's ready to play at this point.
Is that the same thing that, was it Amari? Or who
Amari
was
had
it?
it. Yeah.
It was Amari, like when he first got here, kind of, that he was dealing with that?
He played with that, I think, all of 2019, maybe.
Good memory. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I just remember the word, and that's the first time
Yeah.
I ever heard it. I think it was with Amari.
Yeah.
I'm nervous about this. I'm not going to be surprised if we hear that number 20 is inactive on Sunday morning. I haven't been told that, but yeah, I mean, the way Tony was talking and what he's done this week, it doesn't seem like he's ramping up. It just kind of seems like he's staying the same. They signed Ito Smith. McCarthy said more or less that he felt good about what Smith would be able to do if he had to play in this game. Mm-hmm. So I'm anxious about that. I don't know if Tony's going to be there.
I mean, it's the bottom of your feet. I remember Patrick Creighton saying one time, it's, how's that feel? He said, it's just like running the whole game with, like on needles.
Needles, yeah.
Yeah. So
sounds like fun.
Yeah. And for a guy that puts them up and puts them down, and probably, faster than anyone else on the team.
Oh, his feet. Okay.
Yeah. What are you talking about?
I didn't know what you were saying.
That's a phrase for running.
Okay.
It's a phrase for running. Old people like you should know that.
I've not heard that phrase ever.
You should.
Thank you. I know it now.
You never heard that?
I've really never heard that, seriously.
Have you?
I don't think I have either.
Oh,
but I knew what you meant.
Maybe it's not a thing then.
I'm capable of reading context clues, I guess. I don't know.
What you trying to say?
Nothing.
You're capable as well, but you're capable as well.
Questioning your intelligence.
Yeah, he is.
That's not what I said.
No. You're capable, but today you're looking for anything that might
That
be
could derail us?
like, ho,
Seriously,
ho.
like this is.
What are you putting down?
I don't think I've ever seen Derek in this good of a mood. Which you're usually in a good mood.
I'm in a good mood all the time.
But
what are you
this
talking
is
about?
another level.
I'm rarely in a bad mood. I know you're not looking at me.
You're talking.
No,
so
real
I-
quick.
all right.
I'm gonna keep y'all.
You're
on,
talking, so I'm looking.
I am
Okay.
going to keep y'all on the rails.
Thank you.
Because I think this is important. Running back, we already did it. Keep an eye on tight end too. I don't think Sean McCune's going to play in this game.
Oh, I like that. Tight
Wow,
end, too.
that's.
No, I wasn't even doing that on purpose. No, I don't think Sean McCune. it's gonna be close for him. He's dealing with some stingers. It's been an issue for him in the past.
So now Sprinkle is your second?
You got Jeremy Sprinkle, and there is a guy on the practice squad by the name of Ian Bunting.
That guy's like 6'11".
Sure.
Every time I see him, I'm like, who is this guy? And why are the Mavericks? No, he's not with them right now. He's huge.
Your depth is getting tested there because Jarwin's already on injured reserve. You have Dalton, but yeah, Jeremy Sprinkle and a practice squad guy might have to help you with that.
One thing, but I was going to say that they talked about that earlier this week. Like that gives them the ability to have 6 offensive linemen on the field. Maybe they just beef up at that point, and if you want to run, you're going to have those 6 offensive linemen out there.
Okay,
maybe 7 if you're going to throw Connor in the backfield. Who knows?
I saw the 2 games last year against them, and I know that personnel is different all the way around, but it was not good. It was a bad. I mean, it was a bad 2 games in the middle of the trenches there, and so they don't have the same personnel. They don't have Sweat, who was the Cowboys killer.
Yeah,
and Kerrigan actually was there last year too, wasn't he? And of course Chase Young. So those 3 guys aren't there,
and that's your edge basically.
Yeah, and then Cowboys have Zach Martin, Lyell, and Tyron, who weren't there, and Dak.
Yeah,
which helps with the offensive line, of course, too. So personnel is different, but it's still it's a mindset thing. I thought what Bucky said was, and I had forgotten about that, but that whole we're going to knock your quarterback out, and you're not going to do anything about it, and that just kind of set the tone for that game, and that just the way things were that year. And so, hopefully, I don't know if the Cowboys remember that, but they should.
Hope they do.
I mean, they should.
I hope they do. Yeah.
They were in a dark place that day. I just don't. I mean, they lost Dak.
Everything about that just seemed.
Washington punched them in the face, and they just folded.
You know, an interesting stat. I looked back. I think since that game, the one in Washington, the Cowboys have lost 10 games from last year and this year. And of the 10, every quarterback is a first-round pick, with the exception of Tom Brady, who's, he's done okay.
Yeah, I think he's proven he should.
And Derek Carr, who's a high second-round pick. Every other player was a first-round pick, except for in that game, Kyle Allen, I believe, was the starter. And so this week, first round, undrafted, and is it Taylor or Tyler?
Taylor
Heineke. So that just goes to show. I mean, for the most part, they've done well against guys that are undrafted. Not that day though. Kyle Allen, he wasn't a good quarterback, but he was that day.
They got smashed last year in both of those games.
They did. And so, leading from that to this, what happens this weekend? Let's get some predictions.
I got no problem going first today. I felt this. I didn't need Mike McCarthy to get me juiced. In the Dak Prescott era, they're 21-6 against the East as a whole. They're 7-1 against Washington. The one loss was before they traded for Amari Cooper on a crappy day at FedEx. LP, the guy that's been perfect for his whole career, gets flagged for something that nobody gets flagged for, or else they probably win that game. They own these guys. And we talked about it for a month straight of how tough this stretch was, how many guys you're missing, the COVID protocols, the injuries, the 4 games in 18 days or whatever it was. Well, they got 5 days off. If you count Monday as a day off because they weren't practicing, that's almost a bye week. Everybody's back. The coaching staff is intact. I think they're going to play like they played before the bye. I do. I'm sure there will be some twists and turns. It's just not going to be a blowout from the word go. But I think they're a much better team. I think Heineke will give them a couple opportunities at takeaways, and they'll cash in on 1 or 2 of them. And I think they're going to win this game by 14 to 17 points, 27 to 13. Cowboys.
Okay. Amber.
Nice.
Everything's pointing for the Cowboys to have a great game and look good, but from experience, this kind of mood and this kind of chillness just
makes you nervous.
Yes, it does. I'm nervous about the running game, and I don't like how chill we are. That makes me uneasy. But I think the Cowboys will go out and win as of right now, and they'll beat Washington. Let's see, final score. I'm thinking maybe something like 28-14 or something like that. But I don't think they'll be as powerful as they were
No, I mean,
then,
I think the running game is going to struggle.
Struggles.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be this clean. They're not going to run for 200 yards, but I think their quality will win out over 4 quarters.
But excited about the defense. Let's see what those 3 can do, and hopefully no injuries, and hopefully he can play without hurting his little hip more. And
his little hip
sounds so condescending.
I didn't mean
hurt your little hip.
No,
Micah's got a boo-boo.
Didn't mean it like that, but yes.
Nick,
I think I've seen this game before. I just feel like it's going to be very similar, I think, to the Saints game last week. It's low scoring for a little bit. Cowboys always seeming like they're in control. Will extend the lead and then maybe kind of have to hang on. I think they win 20-15. I think it'll be kind of low scoring, ugly, but it won't be ugly if they win.
Nope, not at all.
And I think that both defenses will be better when they're on the field than the opposing offense. But I think the Cowboys will have more firepower and they'll score. I keep saying 20. I see the Cowboys barely getting there, but I just don't see. I could be wrong. I just don't see Washington getting to 20 without. I'll say this: it's December. Okay, this is the time where you give gifts. Mm-hmm. Cowboys don't need to be giving any. If they don't give any gifts, keep everything under the tree. They're going to win this game because I don't think Washington's good enough to go up and down and beat them.
And I actually agree with you on that. I actually think this is going to be a game where Dallas's defense doesn't allow a touchdown. I think they're going to give up some field goals. I don't think they let them in the end zone. I think this defense will be good enough because I don't think their offense is very good, and I think this Dallas defense, not only are they good, but I think they're going to be juiced by the fact that they got a full contingent of players, and they're going to have the rotations that they've always wanted, and it's going to free up guys to do things, particularly Micah, to do things he has not been able to do all year. And so I think there'll be some wrinkles that Dan Quinn will add in this week that he hasn't really been able to use, that maybe he's been holding since training camp. Mm-hmm. And I think that's going to confuse young Mr. Taylor Heineke.
Yeah,
so I think this is a game. Dallas, I think, gets to 20. I don't think it's a runaway game, but I think they win 20-9.
20-9. If you could take any of Jason Garrett's old motivational T-shirts out for this one.
Do we have to?
I mean, just if there's a bunch of them.
There's
a lot of them.
I got a lot of them in my house.
Which one are you going for?
I think this one, and I don't even know if this was Garrett. No.
That was about 20 of them.
I think this is the Gata.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 17 inches.
Get after their ass.
Get after their ass.
Got it.
There don't have to be anything crazy and exotic about the blitzes and all this stuff. Just get after their ass. Get after his ass and make him run all over the place. They want to call him the next Romo? Fine. Let's see it. Let's see it.
The ball's going to be on the ground in Washington's pocket, at least with Randy and Lawrence and Micah. The opportunities are going to be there.
Watch the guy that will ball out is Dorrance Armstrong.
That's fine.
Oh, I'm good with that.
And
by the way, that's what hasn't been able to happen.
Yeah.
Dorrance hasn't been able to be the third or fourth best rushing option, right? Now he is.
Or Basham or somebody like that.
Somebody like that. So that's the part I love about this defense. I can't wait to see how they put all that together, how Dan Quinn puts all that together this game. All right, we appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back on Monday. We'll let you know what went right and wrong for the Cowboys. Till then, for Nick Eatman, Dave Hellman, Amber Garcia, I am Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!